Clay from RacingRefresh.com. It's NASCAR's 20th anniversary year for the D4D program. And in the last 2 weeks, we've seen three graduate winners of the D4D program, including yourself. So have you recognized that? Is that important to you, and why?
Well, yeah, I mean, now, yeah, that you mentioned it, yeah, I mean, I think that is really important. That's really cool. With Suarez winning last week, was super proud and happy for Raja on Friday night. Not only because it's Raja and everything that he means to the sport, but with HendrickCars.com on his truck, and then myself winning here today. It is pretty cool for sure. So the D4D program was good for my career. Kind of gave me my introduction into stock car racing, and it gained a lot of experience not only on the racetrack but off of it as well, with everything that they offer there at Rev Racing when I was there. I'm sure it's changed quite a bit since 2012, but regardless, they've produced some great drivers, and it's cool to see, and hopefully we can add some more D4D guys onto the new championship lists down the road.
Yeah, just a note, thank you for bringing the D4D program up. Kyle's the fourth this year, starting with Nick Sanchez also at Daytona. We'll go to Lee next.
For Spencer, Petros.com and NASCAR Sirius XM Radio. Typically, you and Reddick race really well together. You guys put on some exciting events, but you also both like ripping the top. But today, the bottom line seemed preferable. He said you kind of took the bottom, and he would have liked to have been down there. Can you just kind of talk about a little bit of the cat and mouse going in the closing stages?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be cat and mouse. I knew I was going to have to kind of catch him off guard with a late kind of block. Yes, the bottom was good, but he was making some time up top in 3 and 4, and I felt like going back to the fall, like Bell was catching me around the top, and I didn't quite move up early enough, or thought that at the time I could have maybe not had that last lap battle if I moved around a bit more. So I thought I had a decent gap. I don't know, with 8-ish laps left, and I was like, okay, I need to get going up top in 3 and 4 to try and build some momentum, and that was the wrong move, and it really allowed him to get much closer to me. And then I was like, crap, all right, now I got to block, air block him, and tried in 1 and 2. I don't know, 3 or 4 laps left. He was running a little bit higher than me in 1 and 2, and I was trying to take his airway and really mess his angle up off of 2, but it didn't hurt him that bad, and he was close to me in 3 and 4, or down the backstretch for 3 and 4. I don't remember what happened that next corner, but there with 2 to go, he expected, I think, me to run the middle or top or something, and I was able to do kind of a nice lazy arc to the bottom and take his airway in the center 3 and 4 and got him tight. And yeah, that killed his run down the front stretch, and thankfully that was the white flag. So I knew as long as I hit my marks, I was going to be safe to the checker, just because it seemed like when I blocked him maybe once earlier, it took him like a lap and a half to get that run built back to me, to where I was going to have to block again. So yeah, thankful it all kind of worked out there. But as you mentioned, yeah, I had a lot of fun racing Tyler. We've grown up together racing. We've had great races back to when we were like 7, 8 years old. So cool to have another fellow Northern Californian from the Outlaw Kart ranks race up front on Sundays.
Thank you.
Jerry and then Jeff.
Jerry Jordan, KickmanTires.net. So I know we're only 3 races in, but when you got on your roll and your championship, it started here. Any vibes for you for looking forward to the rest of the season and getting this win the fashion you did today and going forward?
I don't know. I mean, next gen racing is so much different than 2021. So who knows? I mean, yes, I think we have the potential within our team to do that. I think it would be much harder. When we won here in 2021, we killed them at the end. In this, we had to fight really hard for it. So as Cliff mentioned, the field is much tighter, so that's going to make winning much tougher than back then. But again, I think our team is well capable of it. I feel like we've done a really good job of executing to start the year. Daytona was going really well until it didn't there at the end. Atlanta was going great until it didn't. And then today, we did everything great from start to finish. So, pit crew, pit calls, restarts, the car itself, myself in the seat, blocking the right way and making speed while doing it was good. So, if we can carry that on, I think, there is definitely, potential to have a great season like we did in 2021. But 11 wins that year, I don't know, that'd be really hard the next year.
Did Owen plan to hijack your celebration? Did he know he was going to do that, or it looked pretty fun out there?
Well, I wasn't surprised, I guess, because when we won here in the fall, he did the same thing. He ran all the way, I think, from watching it, your grandparents' motorhome to all the way to the start-finish line. So he was huffing and puffing when he got there. But it's fun. It's really fun to celebrate with the family, and these are core memories that my kids are going to be able to remember for the rest of their lives. So I can only imagine like me being 9 years old and like standing on the roof of my dad's race car, staring at this crowd, like how that must feel inside. I don't know if he like understands either, but it would have to be pretty special, at least to look back on decades and decades down the road, when he's got children of his own, and I'm old and he's taking care of me. I don't think Cooper understands much other than just stuffing his face full of food and stuff.
Kyle, when you're trying to air block, like with the Battle of Reddick, how much are you looking behind you and how much are you looking forward? Is it like a 50-50 split, or how does that go?
Yeah, I would say it's gotta be somewhat 50-50, like once you're like in the corner, especially, 3 and 4, you're more out the windshield because it's a more like line sensitive corner, especially when you're trying to run the bottom. But as you, like, even before you exit turn 4, you're already like looking in your mirror and trying to judge the run that's coming behind you. And then as you turn off into 1, you kind of have, like, at least for me, I don't know about other people, but kind of like you're looking where you're going, but the way the mirror is, you can kind of like out of your peripheral see, his angle, and then like once I get loaded, then I can look again and add wheel if I need to block, or release wheel to let it wash up or whatever. So, and then same thing down the backstretch. So no, it's fun when you do it right. It's tough. I almost kind of messed up a couple times, but there's some guys that are really good at mirror driving, and I felt like I did an okay job of it there at the end.
Any further questions? Okay, we'll go stay up here to Bob, and then go back to the moment.
Bob Hoppers, Fox Sports. It doesn't seem like there was a whole lot of difference from 4 months ago. I'm curious, just is that a relief? Does that give you confidence? Just, I assume there's always questions when you come back. It looks like you kind of dominated.
Well, the next gen stuff so far, especially for mile and a half and all that, and going back to 2022, I don't think the rules have changed at all. So we've been good. We were good back then, and so I think we've, as every team has, progressively gotten their stuff better. But we had a good base starting spot in 2022. So I assume that we're gonna be better and better every time we come back to these places. So when we won here in the fall, come back here again in the spring, you're gonna have a shot. At least you hope. That this one was maybe a little different just because the Fords and Toyotas with their new cars and stuff, and off season, who got their stuff better. But I felt like we were gonna be good again. Did I think that we would win both stages in the race? I don't know, but I felt like we'd have a shot. No, it was good. My car felt better than it did in the fall. Obviously, in the fall, the conditions are warmer in Vegas. I think it was like 20 degrees warmer, so that has a big effect on the balance of your race car, especially in the long run. But I thought my car drove better, as Cliff mentioned, from the beginning of the run to the end of the run, where in the fall I would get really, really loose. And even all the other Vegas races, I would get really, really loose on the long runs. But today, my balance stayed not bad. I know those guys were a little bit better than me, but it helps when you're getting big, drafts on the straightaways.
Mitchell Brewer, Black Hat Sports. Kyle, back here. Kyle, you mentioned that you won both stages today. obviously picking up a lot of playoff points. What's it mean to get a lot of those in the bank early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You hope to keep stacking up stage points and stage wins. You know, I look at like last year, yes, we made it to the Final Four, but you know, I didn't do a great job in the regular season. I crashed a lot. You know, we didn't finish as high up as the speed in our car in the regular season, so you know, there's a lot of bonus points on the table for the end of the regular season. So you know, it's kind of a priority of mine this year is to try and do a better job in the regular season to make life a little bit easier once you get to the playoffs. So yeah, having days like today, early in the year, definitely helps things. But you still have to carry it on throughout, you know, the next 20, whatever it is, 2-3 races before the playoffs start. And then yeah, once you get the playoffs, there's still a lot more points out there. So just try to be more consistent than I was last year, and like I said, finish all the laps, and hopefully the points will kind of take care of themselves.
We'll stay up in the middle and come on to Jim.
Gary, UNLV Rebel back here. Obviously, Phoenix is next. It's a track where you won one of your biggest milestones in your racing career. So, what are going to be the keys for you to go back to back over there?
Yeah, I don't know. We have a slightly different aero package, I believe, for next week than what we've had at any other race. And you know, I was a part of that aero test at Phoenix throughout the off season, but I don't even remember what exactly is on the car for next week or what run from the test that was. But yeah, regardless, it's an important race next week to gather data. Hopefully we're fast and all that. Phoenix has not honestly been like a great track for me. I feel like in the next gen stuff, we were pretty good in the spring last year, but there was others that were a lot faster. And then, the championship race, our team just executed super good to even give us a shot at winning. But Blaney was like way faster than we were in the fall race. So yeah, just try to gather data and assess and build on your package for short tracks and in hopes that you're racing for a championship in November.
I noticed when you climbed out of the car in victory lane, you had the Prime bottle with you. Congrats on the deal. So how did that deal come together, and do you think we will see a paint scheme in the future with them?
I don't know. I mean, I think there's definitely, hopefully, opportunity there for that relationship to grow. It's a massive brand for sure. So I'm happy to be a part of it and introduce it to the NASCAR world. So yeah, it's great. It's cool to get a win with them and be chugging the bottle in victory lane. So yeah, I look forward to that relationship growing, and hopefully they enjoy having me a part of their brand as well.
Go to Jen.
Kyle, I wanted to ask you about the bells. Is that just a number 5? Is that just a Team 5 thing?
I believe so. I don't know if they did that victory lane at Daytona, but so the bell thing, I'm sure like you would know, like the bells are pretty important, yeah, at the shop, and I don't know where it like originated from, just because I'm much newer at Hendrick, but I know like even at Rick and Linda's wedding anniversary last year, like they had a bell, that everybody when they left, you would ring it. So the bell has always been important to Rick and Linda and Hendrick Motorsports, and this off season or preseason, I'll call it. We all got together, the 5 team at Hendrick Automotive Group, and you just kind of get pumped up for the season. And Daryl Jackson, he's hilarious. But yeah, he brought 3 bells to the little get together and told us to keep one on the hauler for whenever we win. And then I got to take one home, and Cliff as well. So yeah, that bell will travel with us every week, and we'll be ringing it loud and proud in victory lane, hopefully a lot this year.
Is that because you expect to win so much you can't get back to the shop in time to win to ring the bell so much?
I don't know. They work around my schedule quite a bit. So aside from 2021 with COVID and all that, every win since then, I've gotten to go through all the different areas of Hendrick Motorsports and shake everybody's hands and let them ring the bell and get to celebrate a little bit with them. So yeah, that's special. It's a really cool thing that they do. Even Junior Motorsports has adapted it. You know, when we won a race with them at Watkins Glen a couple years ago, I got to go to their shop and you know, same sort of thing. You have everybody ring the bell. So yeah, it's cool, and hopefully, you know, now it's a tradition for the 5 team going forward.
Capture memories with Pawfolio, the ultimate digital pet card experience. Customize, download, and share in 3D magic. Celebrate the joy, milestones, and memories with frames that bring your pet's world to life. Pawfolio, where love thrives in pixels. Explore now at pawfolio.com, because every pet deserves a spotlight.